It's very thoughtful in design, and the craftsmanship again I think is awesome. And all of the lights and the pump, it all comes down to this one controller right here. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Hugh with Prolific Breed. We're standing in front of the Lagoon 25 today. This is my first reef tank that got me dabbling into corals and marine fish and inverts, everything. This is a very fun tank. Taught me a lot to go with the Red Sea Reefer 350. But yeah, this tank is pretty much on cruise control. I got these Pandora pallies just kind of taking over. I need to frag it out and give away or sell them because I have so much growing and it's kind of encroaching up top. I have other different zoas and pallies up top. These torches, I got them before the ban. I love how they look. These hammers on the other side because they can't mix together. Up top, I got a Piscilopora, Alveopora, some bird's nest. I had one casualty this past 2 weeks. I had a stylo, which is also a bird's nest. It was growing so fast that it was reaching up top and hitting this coral up top, and I noticed they were touching, and I noticed some STN where the tissue started receding, and I kind of separated the bird's nest from this coral up here, and I thought that would be fine, but within like 2 days the whole thing just flashed and turned white, died on me. This white coral right here, which is dead, it should look like this purple coral right in the center. It's called a Stylopora. It's not all at a loss because I still have this frag to grow out. Didn't lose it completely, so I still have the strain in this aquarium, and also in the Red Sea Reefer have a couple of them growing out in there as well. It just hurts when the colony was so big and then it just dies like that. What things happen. Down below I got mushrooms, Superman mushrooms, this nuclear green mushroom, a Montipora right here on the side. Down here, sorry the glass is dirty, but I got some bounce mushrooms all over the floor. But something new with this tank, I picked up these guys right here yesterday from Russell, this kid I met on OfferUp. I bought my anemones off of him for a good price, and we're talking about clownfish and everything, and he's starting up a clownfish harem with like 8 or 10 anemones in a 25-gallon lagoon or a 20-gallon lagoon, and he was sourcing these clownfish, and they came out to about $15 each, and I thought that was a deal, and he asked me if I wanted some as well. He's buying about 8 or 10, and I told him to pick me up a pair. And before him picking up the clownfish, I asked him to specifically look for clownfish where the white circle with the head connects with the white in the body. This is considered premium from my research, and he got me one premium and one regular. They're Picasso strain. They usually go for around $35 or $40 on Live Aquaria, and I got them for $15 each, which I think is a great deal. I have them in this little breeder box right here because they're still little babies, and I think this guy can get really aggressive if I just plop and drop them. So for a week or two, they're so small, I'm keeping them in this breeder box so they kind of get acclimated and used to seeing each other. So the day that I release them into the tank, they wouldn't get torn up or killed on site. So I'm gonna keep a close eye on these two, and I'll keep you guys updated. Now, today I want to work on the Aqua Clear refugium. It's doing great. I don't see any hair algae and nuisance algae in the display. I do get algae on the glass and I have to scrape it every now and then to clean it up. I don't think you can ever 100% get away from not scraping, and this Flipper Nano is pretty good. My initial video where I had buildup and I had to go over it multiple passes to clean up the glass, I was pretty disappointed. But if you keep up regularly with the glass scraping, it's a really good tool to have to scrape and clean your glass easily without getting your hands into the tank. Now I have this yellow tang, a baby yellow tang in here. I think he's very beneficial in keeping the hair algae at bay too. I always see him foraging and nipping and eating whatever he's eating. I don't know, but I assume it's little algae as well. So today I want to work on the Aqua Clear refugium that we built. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'll leave a link up in the description and up in the right hand corner so you can see how I built this thing. It's a LED grow light on top of a hang on the back filter, and inside I have a what is it called again? In-tank media basket that separates everything out. So right here I have floss in the center and chaeto growing up here, and I have a media bag in there as well. But I haven't really serviced this thing. It's like really nasty, growing like algae, and it has a lot of salt creep. But it's doing well, but it's just, I think it's an eyesore because if I step back, you can see the tank. It's a sleek tank, rimless, and then out of nowhere I put in this Aqua Clear 70 giant hang on the back filter on the side with the light. It looks pretty cool with it glowing at night and everything. But I ran across this vendor called Marine Magic, and he is willing to send me a algae scrubber to test out. So a couple weeks back I did an open box, so you guys can check it out. I'll put it into this video. I ran into some issues where it was missing parts, so it set me back a couple weeks. So after you guys see that open box, we'll get back into placing that algae scrubber onto the tank. Now this is my real first sponsor, Marine Magic Online. Thank you for sending me this product. For the guys watching, I just saw this product on eBay, and I thought it was a very clean and well thought out product that you can just buy off the shelf to have an algae scrubber. Now I have videos in the past doing DIYs with the Aqua Clear and kinda creating a refugium to grow chaeto, and doing that, everything kind of adds up, and it's just, I feel like the DIY stuff is fun to do, but the price adds up to something like this where it's dedicated and designed to do exactly what you're looking for. Now Perry, I guess he's the owner of the company Marine Magic Online. I'll leave links down the description. He's from Hong Kong, so this entire thing he shipped from Hong Kong, and it's, like I said, I think it's very well thought out, and I'm hoping that it does what it's intended to do, which is grow algae in this dedicated contraption, so the display tank would not have any algae in there, and all of the algae would be growing in here where you can harvest it and kind of export it out of your tank. Now he saran wrapped everything. It's made of acrylic, but let me get everything out so I can show you guys how everything looks. Excuse my dog, he's sleeping in the background. He's like snoring. Well, I love craftsmanship of acrylic because it takes great skill to build something like this by hand, and when you're looking at it, it just looks like black piano keys, so shiny and slick. But here's the top. I'm gonna get out the rest. I don't know if you guys can see that, the reflection and everything. This piece is just mint, and it feels awesome. So there's this piece, and then I think I got another package. Let me try to find that. So it's kind of like a hang on the back system where you hang it on the back, and then on the inside right here you have this grid. So you can grow algae on it, and then you can easily pull it out and kind of harvest your algae. And then in the back right here there should be a light contraption where the light would shine onto this mesh, so we can get that algae growing on there. Here's the second package. Get all of this out. It has the tubing, so you could get water into the contraption. Power supply. The pump has a controller. Here's the mini pump and the lights right here. Thing is sealed up. Let me open it up so you guys can see. It's LED grow lights. Two sets. So let me get everything set up so I can explain how everything should work. Okay, so assembly is easy to do. You got two light panels. They're LED panels, and then each panel, the light, it's on an aluminum panel, but they also provide this aluminum heat sink to kind of dissipate all of the heat. But on the device itself, they have pilot holes right here that's already threaded, and they provide you with the screws, and everything looks pretty straightforward. There's 8 holes on the device, and then I'm just gonna line it up and then screw it all down. But first I want to show you the spectrum of the light. These are just grow lights, so if you search on eBay or Amazon for grow lights for plants. It's the pink purplish hue grow light, I guess. But let me plug it in so you guys can see how it looks. Here you go. It's like red light LED. Good for growing algae. But let me assemble this and then we're gonna get it on the tank and let's see how everything works. Now this Aqua Clear 70 with the grow light and Chaeto growing, I think it's doing great. It's adding a lot of flow to extra flow to the tank, and like I said before, it doesn't show, or my tank doesn't produce any hair algae. I don't see it at all in here like before, and I was pretty happy, and this tank is on cruise control for months. But I'm kind of hesitant to remove this and change things up. But I really want to see how that Algae Scrubber works and compares with this Aqua Clear 70. And I want to share the results with you guys. So we're going to be taking this down and then we're going to be putting on the Algae Scrubber and see how it looks and everything. So I'm taking everything apart and I noticed a lot of salt creep where I don't usually have visual access. If you can see underneath here, so a lot of salt buildup and salt creep back here. I think this happened a couple of days ago where if you don't keep an eye on it, the Chaeto would overgrow in here and it would block these exit holes. And in the back chamber, if you don't keep an eye on it, the water would raise up and potentially it can overflow if these holes are blocked too much. So you gotta constantly check on it and move it and things like that. If you don't, you're gonna get little drippage here and there. So it's good that we're finally taking a look and cleaning everything up. This Aqua Clear is gonna get a deep cleaning. Okay, I got it out and you can see the salt creep right here. This is underneath the Aqua Clear where the overflow is, so I never really saw this happening until now when we're servicing everything. Over here is where the intake nozzle is at. But yeah, look at all that salt. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Be right back. Alright guys, I got the whole contraption right here. The two LED panels in back, it's lit up. And I think I could have pushed this further if I didn't have the skimmer right there. I could have put this pump into the back area. But I don't want to mess with everything right now, so this is how I have it. It's just push as far back as I can. I didn't realize my Montipora encrusted onto the glass. It was hanging on one of these scrubbers and it encrusted, and I thought I couldn't push this all the way back because the other part of the magnet was over here. But I removed the magnet and it was still stuck on here, so it looks good. This is what I have so far. Everything is connected through this one controller right here. It's Marine Magic control. You can just control the pump and the LED. There goes the water. I wanted to do an overview. I have everything in right here. I could have pushed it back more and put this pump into the back chambers right there, but I have this skimmer in place. I didn't want to mess with it too much, so I pushed it as far as I can. I originally thought that I couldn't push it back as much because this Montipora cap, it encrusted onto the glass and it was being held up by a magnet scrubber. But I removed the external magnet right here, and Montipora was still sticking on because it encrusted so much onto the glass. So it allowed me to push this Algae Scrubber a little further back So when I'm standing back like this, it doesn't look like it's bulging out too much like my Aqua Clear 70. So this whole thing was, I believe, handcrafted, and it's amazing craftsmanship. Black acrylic, and in the back right here it has clear acrylic and two grow light panels to grow your algae. So water's gonna pump in from the top right here. You can have this pump further down, but since I have this rack right here, I cut it to size so it's right on top. So the pump's gonna be pulling in water. Water's gonna go into this chamber right here and fill up and overflow. So when it's filling up, it's being submerged, and this light's always penetrating this one side right here. So hopefully algae grows on that mesh, and that mesh is easily removable where you can just pull it out like so, and you see the mesh right there. It allows you to pull it out, kind of harvest your algae, scrape it off, throw it in the trash, and then put it back in so you can further grow your algae. Now, how they designed the overflow was to have this mesh up top right here. I think that's just in case if algae were to break off that this mesh right here and overflow over and out. This is a catcher. It will catch that stray algae so it doesn't go into your tank. And this is also easily removable. I think it's very thoughtful in design, and the craftsmanship, again, I think is awesome. And all of the lights and the pump, it all comes down to this one controller right here. If I can get it to focus. You can control the time the light comes on and the pump on and off. It all plugs into one power brick, so it's very convenient. It's very nice that you don't have to plug in like 3 outlets, because these are 2 panels right here. How they designed it is it goes to a Y wire, and it connects 2 lights into one plug. So you see the plugs right here. One's for power, and one is for the pump, and the other one is for the lights. I think it's pretty ingenious, so I could just mount this up along with my other controllers down here and kind of have access to it. That's the gist of it. I don't have any algae in here yet, and I'm just gonna keep it on for a couple of weeks, and we'll keep checking on this this tray right here and see how long it takes for algae to populate. And I'm curious if it's gonna maintain how my tank looks. My tank has been kind of on cruise control with that Aqua Clear 70 in place. I don't see any hair algae or any nuisance algae at all, except for the glass. This tank has been on cruise control, and I'm curious to see if this Marine Magic algae scrubber would maintain that cruise control that I'm looking for. So it's less maintenance and everything. So be sure to be subscribed, and I'll keep you guys updated on this algae scrubber and how long it takes to grow algae. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.